Now as you have got, carbon shows tetracovalency. I mean carbon always contain 4 covalent bonds inside it. Now carbon has one property that carbon can form single bond also, carbon can form double bond also, carbon can form triple bond also. When two electrons take part in sharing, they produce single bond. Suppose this is one carbon, this is another carbon. When this type of one pair of electrons take part in sharing, they produce single bond like this. When two electrons of carbon shares with another two electrons of another carbon, then they produce double bond. When 3 electrons of carbon shares with another 3 electrons of carbon, they can produce carbon-carbon triple bond. So carbon can form single bond also, double bond also, triple bond also, and that is why you will get number of carbon compounds. All are covalent bonds, because in all the cases sharing of electron takes place. When 2 electrons take part in sharing, you will get single bond. When 4 electrons take part in sharing, you will get double bond. When 6 electrons take part in sharing, you will get triple bond. So carbon can produce 3 types of covalent bond. It may be single, it may be double, it may be triple. Now I think you know carbon has one unique property which is called catenation property. Do you know what is catenation property of carbon? Actually, carbon have one unique property that when carbon combine with another carbon, they can form this type of chain which is called long chain compound. Carbon combine with another carbon, they can form this type of chain also, which is called branch chain, and carbon combine with another carbon, they can form this type of closed structure also, which is called ring structure, and this is called ring structure. This property of carbon is called catenation property. I mean, when a carbon atom combines with another carbon atoms, they can form long chain, they can form branching, they can form ring type structure also, and this property of carbon is called catenation property. And due to this catenation property, carbon can produce huge number of compounds. That's why maximum compounds you will get for carbon. Carbon form number of compounds, and that is why the organic chemistry compounds are all carbon compounds, and that's why the carbon compounds, organic compounds means the chemistry of carbon compounds. Now, so this is one property which is called catenation property. Now, you should know one thing. Carbon has 2 allotropic form. Allotropic form means these are the different forms of carbon. One is called, in your book it is given, one is called diamond, one is called graphite. In diamond, one carbon is bonded with another 4 carbon like this. Every carbon is bonded with again another 4. This type of structure you will get in case of diamond. And in case of graphite, one carbon is bonded with another 3 carbon, not with 4 carbon, and 1 electron of carbon will remain here. Now, here as you know, valence electron of carbon is 4. Here if you consider this carbon, all the 4 electrons are involved in bonding. But here 3 electrons of carbon take part in bonding, but 1 electron remain free in graphite, and that is why due to presence of this free electron, it becomes good conductor, it becomes bad conductor. Do you know when a substance conduct electricity? It is due to 2 reasons. Who will be good conductor, who will be bad conductor? It mainly depends on, to conduct electricity, the substance should possess some ions. If it can form ions, then it can conduct electricity, or if the substance contains some free electron, then also it can conduct electricity. Actually, when you pass electricity through a solution, if the solution contains some positive and negative ions, when you apply the electricity, the ions will start moving, and due to this movement of ions, it can conduct electricity. For example, this is a solution, and the solution contain Na plus and Cl minus ion. If you apply some electricity in this solution, since it contains some ions, so when you apply electricity, the ions will move, and due to this movement of ions, the solution become good conductor of electricity. Similarly, if some substance, as you know, metals, iron metal or some aluminium metal, metals are good conductor of electricity. Why? Because metal always contains some free electron in the valence shell, and due to presence of that free electron, when you apply electricity, the electron will start to move, and due to movement of that electron, these metals are good conductor of electricity. Similarly, here one free electron is present, and due to presence of this free electron, it becomes good conductor of electricity. So although both are diamond and graphite are allotrope of carbon, but their characteristics property are different. One is good conductor of electricity, one is bad conductor of electricity. Good conductor of electricity due to presence of free electron, bad conductor of electricity due to absence of free electron. So this is one of the point. Now, maximum of carbon compounds you will get with hydrogen, and the compounds which contain only carbon and hydrogen, they are called hydrocarbon. You know it. So those compounds which contain only carbon and hydrogen, they are called hydrocarbon. Now, mainly there are two types of hydrocarbon. Some hydrocarbons are called saturated hydrocarbon. For example, this is one hydrocarbon. Why it is called hydrocarbon? Because the compound contain only carbon and hydrogen. You know, this is called methane. This is one of the compounds, C2H6. This is called ethane. It also contain carbon and hydrogen. So one example of hydrocarbon. This is one example of compound which contain carbon and hydrogen. This is also one example of hydrocarbon. So these are the examples of hydrocarbon which contain only carbon and hydrogen. Mainly there are two types of hydrocarbon. Some hydrocarbons are called saturated hydrocarbon, and some hydrocarbons are called unsaturated hydrocarbon. As already I have told you that carbon can form carbon-carbon single bond, carbon can form carbon-carbon double bond, it can form carbon-carbon triple bond also. So those hydrocarbon which contain only carbon-carbon single bond, there is no double bond, no triple bond, only single bonds are present, then that type of hydrocarbon are called saturated hydrocarbon. And those hydrocarbon which contain double bond, triple bond, that type of bond, multiple bond, that type of hydrocarbons are called unsaturated hydrocarbon. So single bond containing compounds, compounds are said to be the saturated hydrocarbon. Double bond, triple bond containing hydrocarbons are called unsaturated hydrocarbon. Now, saturated hydrocarbon example, you know, alkane. Alkane contain only carbon-carbon single bond, and that is why alkane is one example of saturated hydrocarbon. Alkene contain carbon-carbon double bond. Alkyne contain carbon-carbon triple bond. That's why alkene and alkyne said to be the example of unsaturated hydrocarbon. Now, I'll give you some alkane, alkene, alkyne, and you should know about their dot picture. So how to make the structure? If I give you the formula, suppose one formula I give you, this is C3H6. This is the formula of the compound. If I asked you, this represent alkane, alkene or alkyne, you can find out or not. If I asked you to draw the dot picture of this compound, you can do it or not. That I will show you in the next video. Thank you.